Today I'm going to tell you the story of Little Red Riding Hood. So once upon a time there was a sweet little girl. Everyone called her Little Red Riding Hood, and she wore a red color hood which was made by her grandmother, who loved the girl very much. So one day, Little Red Riding Hood's mother said, "Your grandmother is not feeling very well. So take this basket with bread, butter, cake and berries to her so she might feel better. And remember not to talk to the strangers while you are going to the other side of the forest." So Little Red Riding Hood nodded her head and set off to her grandmother's house, which was across the forest. So as she was walking, she met a wolf, and Little Red Riding Hood was not scared of the wolf because she didn't know how dangerous the wolf was. So she started talking with the wolf. Then the wolf asked her, "Where are you going?" She replied, "I am going to my grandmother's house to give her this basket." "And what is in the basket?" asked the wolf. So she replied, "I have some bread, butter, cake and berries for my grandmother. She is not feeling very well, so we hope that this would make her feel better." So after that, the wolf asked Little Red Riding Hood, "Where is your grandmother's house?" Then Little Red Riding Hood didn't know for what the wolf is asking, so she explained exactly where the house was. So the wolf was a very cunning wolf, so he also had a plan with him. So he told her, "Look, what lovely flowers! You can pick some flowers for your grandmother so she will feel even more better." So Little Red Riding Hood thought what a great idea it was. So she stepped out of the path to pluck some flowers. As she went there, the wolf immediately rushed to the grandmother's house. Then he knocked on the door. Then the grandmother asked, "Who is it?" Then the wolf replied in a husky voice, "I am Little Red Riding Hood. I brought a basket of bread, butter, cake and berries for you." So the grandmother believed it was Little Red Riding Hood, and she told her to come inside the house as she could not get up to open the door because she was very sick. So the wolf immediately opened the door and rushed in and ate up the grandmother alive. After the wolf ate the grandmother, he was feeling very happy. Then he put on grandmother's clothes and her glasses, and he slept on grandmother's bed waiting for Little Red Riding Hood. Then Little Red Riding Hood arrived at the grandmother's house. Then she knocked the door. So the wolf immediately told her to come in, and when she entered the house, usually she will feel very happy. But that day something was very different. Then she saw the wolf sleeping like the grandmother, but she didn't know. So she asked the wolf, "Grandma, what big ears you have!" The wolf replied like the grandmother, "All the better to hear you with." Then Little Red Riding Hood asked the wolf, "Grandma, what big hands you have." Then the wolf replied again, "All the better to grab you with." So next, Little Red Riding Hood asked the wolf, "Grandma, what big mouth you have." Then the wolf immediately got up from the bed and told, "All the better to eat you with." Then he jumped on Little Red Riding Hood, grabbed her and ate her up. So now the wolf was very happy after a great meal. And he was also very tired. So he slept on grandmother's bed, snoring so loudly. As he was snoring, a hunter came by grandmother's house, and he thought to himself, "Why does grandmother snore so loudly?" So he felt something different. When he went inside grandmother's house, he saw the wolf sleeping on the grandmother's bed. And that was the wolf the hunter had been searching for many days. So immediately he took his gun to shoot the wolf. But then he thought, what if the grandmother is still alive in the wolf's belly? So he cut open the wolf's belly. When he cut open the wolf's belly, a head came out, and it was Little Red Riding Hood. And then he pulled out the grandmother from the wolf's belly. So, for the wolf not to wake up, he took some stones and also put it in the wolf's belly and covered it up. Then, when the wolf woke up, he was scared to see the hunter with a gun in his hand. So, he got up immediately and tried to run. But he couldn't run because the stones were very heavy in his stomach. So, he couldn't run and he fell down. So, the hunter immediately took his gun and shot the wolf. Then the wolf died. Then the grandmother, Little Red Riding Hood, and the hunter celebrated and ate the cake and the bread and celebrated the wolf's death. So Little Red Riding Hood learnt a very good lesson from the wolf. Then even grandmother got ready and she was also relieved. So after that, Little Red Riding Hood and the grandmother lived happily in the same house, not afraid of the wolf.